I know I need to fix... I'm still having issues with the traveled cells being flagged when they shouldn't be. It's now happening when it's trying to add path, which is annoying because most of the functionality for that is now kind of hidden. It's not... it still prints to log, but it doesn't paint the result on the screen anymore. I may have to go put that back. But what I want to do is go through and take the functionality that was using the index built into the list and remove that and start tracking the pointers independently for each function that needs to do that. In fact, I may wind up removing that index variable entirely. Kind of tired before I started, so let's see how far I can go. I do want to get some work done. And then I want to move on to a different project. Alright, so I need to do a quick review of functions here. I'm probably going to have to add another variable to hold the index, and I might have to add more than one, depending on how many different things are looping through the list. Come on, mouse, just taking off, going on a little trip. String has nothing to do with it. Save board really has anything to do with it. Initialize board, no. Reset board. So this is creating the test. Actually, this is resetting both. Clearing path on whichever board it's doing. Resetting traveled. This is only for the test board, and so it has to be different than calling clear traveled. It needs to allow locked cells to remain as they are. I may integrate this better later, but right now it needs to be able to do that. Clears the path, removing the boards, don't care, removing drawings. Line operations. Line operations should not be doing any iterating. It gets 2 points. Start mouse. Also, it's not using the list. There's a list that's used to generate the path, but not for running the mouse. The mouse is literally going from cell to cell, looking to see which directions are available. It doesn't use a path. It checks each cell to see where it can go. Rectangle collision, that probably should go. Puzzle count, just looking at the file. Generate board. Calls it generate reset, and then it does... Okay, generate reset is actually creating the, populating the board. So it creates an empty board here, passing it a string, which is empty, so that the board is empty. It creates a new list, which is empty. looks like it's got a new blank, and then generate reset. Generate reset is creating the puzzle. It's probably a bad name. At the time when I first created this, it made sense, but now, given the way the functions are laid out, it's a poor choice of names. So I have a D that goes all the way to the size of the array. It loops through every cell. If it's a cell, it should be, but if it's a cell, clears the wall, clears the start, and this is actually already done because of the way it's initializing the board and the fact that I gave it a string of 150 spaces. It should be blank already, but this is just making sure. So it's resetting everything to no walls, no starts, no finishes. All the travel locks are gone, all the travels are gone, no paths. So this is just guaranteeing that everything is cleared. New board is initialized. Clears the path. Why is it clearing the path? Test path at this point should not have anything in it. Maybe that's a leftover from some time when it did. So test path should be an empty list. If get last pointer is not null pointer. So it shouldn't, this shouldn't do anything because this should come out true. Or it should come out, excuse me, it should come out false. It's a double negative here. So get last pointer should be null pointer, and so this should skip. I'm not sure why this is here. I think this was from a time when the board was created one time. Actually, it kind of still is. Maybe I still need to have this. I may need to change the way this is laid out. What it was doing was creating the board, the test board initially when the program started, and then whenever I wanted to reset or make another puzzle, it would just clear it by running all this stuff, by running reset. And so this would make sense to clear the path and reset everything on the board. It doesn't really do that anymore because I don't go into another menu where I have these options. It just returns the board created. So I may need to change, I probably will have to change this so that so this object is created every time I tell it to generate a board, and then it's deleted again when it's done. Actually, it doesn't need to be deleted. Well, yeah, it needs to be deleted. Because what it needs to do is extract the string from this, which it does here, creates a string, returns the string, and it should be able to delete this when it's done. Actually, given the way this is working right now, I think that's a memory leak. Because it doesn't actually go into this menu. It calls generate board every time I tell it I want a new puzzle, and what it's doing is creating a new puzzle, passing back the string, and then if I click I want another puzzle, it creates a new one, and the old one is just lost memory. I think this is an error. It also means that test board's still going to have to be accessible outside of here. But I should be deleting this at the end. once I've extracted the string that describes the board, test board needs to go away. And then if I call for another board, it will have to generate a new one. I think that was a mistake. It was working before when I was in a single menu and generate board got only called once, but generate reset got called over and over again. It's not working that way now. Alright, so this is clearing the board. And if I make a new board each time, I don't necessarily have to do all of these steps. Because at this point, given the new layout, this should happen one time for each board. But it's not hurting anything. Adds a start point and a finish point. This has been working fairly consistently. Adds those to the test board. Logs that it's done that. Tries to generate a simple path. Logs that path. It logs what the board looks like, not actually the path. Logs what the board looks like. I need to look at log test board. So it creates the board, log the file, calls generate reset. There's nothing else in here logging the board. So the first time it logs the board is right after it has assigned the start and finish, which is what I'm seeing in the log. So I need to fix log test board. I don't want to jump out of sequence here because I'm going to forget where I was and not fix some other things. So log test board I think needs some fixing. Generates a subpath. I think this is broken right now. It's not. It's getting stuck. It gets stuck on one cell and cannot move on. Because of that, it can't add the path. I think it gets stuck here and never comes back. It's never going to get here. Resetting travel, improve path. File. Count available cells is another one that's probably going to need fixing.